Welcome to episode 1 of Phototherapy. This is a running series of videos I'm going to do showing you behind the scenes of me going out and taking pictures. These aren't going to be some kind of life-altering image that just speaks to you. They're more just for me, just to have something to keep me productive, because I have not been that for the past few months. So, again, welcome to Phototherapy. So, the location we're at right now is called DeSoto Falls. This is in Mentone, Alabama, right outside of Fort Payne. I'm using the FujiFilm XT3. All of these are done with a 35mm f2, just to kind of limit myself, but also that's a very versatile lens to me. And right here was a composition that I really wanted to get, but I was not quick enough, which is kind of the story of my life. This guy was walking into frame. I was really wanting to get that couple. And this is kind of how all of my photo journeys start. I get my bad images out of the way. So right here I was trying to make this red shack thing stick out, but it just wasn't working. And then I always do this for some reason. I like to shoot up into a tree for some reason. I don't know why I do this, but again, this is just one that's kind of to warm me up a little bit. This one, again, isn't nothing to write home about. We just had a bunch of rain not long ago. I think it was the day before this, and these falls were just a-jumping. So I had to get this just to commemorate that, just for record keeping. It's very wet. I was wearing Converse. This probably wasn't the right choice of shoes. I almost slipped and busted my ass a few times. So I waited around right there for a while just to try to get this couple that was taking a picture earlier. I was trying to see if they would do something else that was cute. It wasn't cutting out though, so I just backed off and went over the other way. And these falls were a zoom in. There, I think you're about to see some water get on my lens. I didn't realize it till it was too late, but I'm pretty sure this is where it happened. A lot of that mist just like kind of pops up and gets the camera. I've been here so many times at this point. I don't know what's a good picture and what's a bad picture, so I'm just kind of taking a little bit of everything. It all feels so familiar to me. I feel like this one could have been something if it was sunset, but it was a very cloudy, rainy, muggy, gross day, so that one just wasn't going to work out. I tried it a few other times and I just realized it wasn't going to happen. Here comes that same couple from before. I'm pretty sure they thought I was stalking them, which I mean, I kind of was. I'm kind of trying to act like I'm taking pictures of other things, but I'm really waiting on them to do something. I like a little human interest. It was just taking him a while, but he does finally start trying to take her picture against the falls again, and I feel like it made an okay image. It would have been better with different lighting, but I think this one works out pretty well, how he's in the upper third and she's almost dead center right there. Not bad. Not the best. Coming down here, I can always count on a image of the water, just because the falls just kind of like disturbs the water so much that you can really up the contrast. And I just feel like this is such an easy shot to make. But yeah, I mean, I've done this one before. I just think it always looks cool. I don't know, I think water looks neat most of the time. Now right here, I was really wanting this guy to come down into the pathway, So I was getting down, ready for him to go. I figured he'd just keep on walking, but I think he saw me and he did not want to, he didn't want to come my way. I tried for a while. I stayed here for a good 2 or 3 minutes just trying to get him to show up, but I think he was wise to my little game. I finally do take one picture, but he's nowhere close to the frame. It could have turned out pretty good, I think. I like the leading line of the path and how it was going to lead you straight to him if he was walking down those stairs, but what can you do? Such is the way. Now, actually, him and his friends I think were waiting for me to come up because they needed someone to take their picture, because this dude asks me, so I'll become a cell phone photographer today as well. These guys were way too nice to be living in Northeast Alabama, in my opinion.
Got it.
And since I scratched their back, I decided to make them scratch mine. So whenever they weren't looking, I took a bunch of pictures of these guys, like a bunch. And I finally landed on one over a little bit into a 16:9 format. And I feel like it kind of made the best overall image. It made them kind of small in the frame, admiring nature, whatever. I feel like it's a little bit cluttered. I think everything's a little bit cluttered. And this guy wandered up as well, and he really made a good one. I think this is probably the best one from the whole day. I just like him looking over at that. Who knows what he's thinking. I always think those are kind of cool. I was trying to take more, so I was trying to act like I was taking other pictures, so I just snapped that one. But I was waiting on one of them to do something like this, and they started, I think everyone was kind of feeling the vibe. I think this one turned out pretty okay as well. There's something about someone standing by themselves looking at nature like that. This one right here is just a record-keeping shot. This is just to remember where I was that day. It took me way too long to take a picture of a sign, now that I think about it. Okay, so this is a little bit later on down the road. I had left from there, and I started trying to get this shot of this little dilapidated place. I always think I love abandoned anything or run down locations. So I'm over here trying to get a shot that I like. It's hard to compose this one. I really wanted to get the broken down house and that chimney in the same shot, but it wasn't gonna work. I started kind of just playing with compositions, trying to use that fence as kind of like a front or foreground element. Again, nothing was panning out, so I step over here to the left and I just take this little picture. And this one, again, isn't anything to write home about. It's dark, it's moody, but I feel like whenever you don't have any kind of composition, I don't see anything there that was really jaw-dropping. This guy right here, that he just went up in his driveway, he was selling his car. He thought I was here to buy it, and I was like, can I just take pictures? So he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Something about old cars, I don't know. They're easy to take pictures of as well. Nothing here is really mind-breaking. And this is the one I wound up with. I think it looks okay. Nothing really fancy. Nothing here was anything to write home about. This is a little bit later on down the road at the actual DeSoto Campgrounds. And I think this place would look really, really cool in the fall when all the leaves are changing colors, but right now we're in the dead of winter and everything's dead and it's not the best. I do think this would be a cool place to come back for like a portrait session or something the right time of day and the right time of year, pretty sweet. I keep trying to figure things out, and I'll eventually start trying to shoot up through this lattice area and try to get a shot of the trees and limbs and everything through the holes in it. And I wound up with one that's okay, I guess. It wasn't anything special. And probably not worth all this trouble, but that's what I wound up with. I don't think there was anything to it. Again, in fall, during sunset, that'd probably look really sweet. I start walking down past this tree, and I'm like, oh look, I don't know what these things are. What are these things? These little growths? If anyone could just let me know. I'm not sure what they are. But I do eventually get a shot of it. And I think that looks okay. That's just an easy shot to make. Just blow out everything else and just have one point of interest. That's such a basic photo. I walk down here. For some reason there's a traffic cone, but I see this red leaf right here. And everything else is just completely dead, or it's like evergreen. This one really kind of like stuck out, so I was trying to make it stick out even more. And then I eventually reach up here and I try to grab these branches and make a frame within a frame. It doesn't work as well as I wanted it to, but I think it's alright. It turns out, these leaves were also right there next to it, so I just figured I'd take a picture of those two. And I come up on this. I always like pathways where you can't tell what's going up, but I needed more interest. I don't think there was anything there other than that pathway, so I decided to lay down and take a picture of my feet. I guess I probably should have just taken my shoes completely off. I think that would have been a better picture, but hindsight's 20/20. And that's what I wound up with. I think that looks, okay, whatever. Then I wander past this branch right here. It had very distinct lines on it, and I love shapes and lines in nature. So I sit here for a hot minute. I had to go into manual focus. I don't know if you've manual focused on these little bitty f2 Fuji lenses, but it's not the best. So I was really struggling to get a close enough focus shot for this one. I think this one turned out okay too, but again, it's just a random nature shot like most of the rest of these. Nothing to write home about, nothing to hang on a wall, but that's all it is. And it was at this point that I was kind of walking home, or walking back to my Jeep to go home. I would really like to keep doing these. If you were a fan of this, let me know. I'd appreciate it. If there's anything you think I could improve on composition-wise, or anything just technical, again, let me know. I'd like to know. I'll probably do one of these every week or so. So if you liked it and you want to come back, I'll see you then. Take care.